Yo, guys, Urb'n Barz brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And guys, we are back with our man NF, and we are back with a track called Oh Lord. And it is an audio track, guys, so there's no video here. And guys, we're on the therapy session, and I am loving every single minute of it. So guys, it's our man NF, and it's Oh Lord. And I love an acoustic guitar. I really do. It's just when you play that instrument, when you can hear the strings, you can actually literally hear those strings being played. That's what I love about an acoustic guitar. Guys, I'm gonna wheel it and come again.
When I die, put my ashes in the trash bag.
Oh my gosh. When I die, put my ashes in a trash bag. So literally, I'm just assuming from this statement that our man NF said is that he feels he's not worth it. He feels he's worthless. When I die, pour my ashes in a trash bag. Guys, there's a lot of people who are the other way around. You've got images in time like Tutankhamun. You've got I don't know, I can't even remember half of the names. I was gonna say Confucius, but that's not the right name. Was I thinking of King Nebuchadnezzar and all these other ones? Who had absolute opulence. When they died, they had everything that's put in their gold, all these other lovely minerals, resources, in their funerals, etc. But what our man Ennis said is like, when I die, pour my ashes in a trash bag. That's like akin to say that, you ain't worth anything. And that's how a lot of us feel, guys. A lot of us feel that we are absolutely worthless, that we have no right to be, that we have no right to exist, no right to breathe the air or to do anything good on this earth. But we shouldn't say that, because we're all God's children, guys. We are all God's children. Oh my gosh, that was an incredible hard-hitting statement. Oh my gosh.
When I die, put my ashes in the trash bag. I don't care where they go. Don't waste your money on my gravestone.
To put my ashes in a trash bag. I don't care where they go. And don't waste any money on a gravestone. Whilst we say in the UK a tombstone. Oh my gosh. Or do we say gravestone? I'm not sure. Whoa. And that's a really weird thing as well, guys, I was going to say, because from the cradle to the grave, we are at the mercy of so many of these things, particularly from the government kind of thing. It's like we have to register a birth, you have to register a death. And as well as that, guys, not so much with the births, but when we die, we're at the mercy of the undertaker and the whole system of how we bury our dead. You have to register it. You have to, and it costs a fortune. At the very worst time in your entire life where a loved one has passed, you have to now scrape around and say, look, for instance, was there a will? How did that loved one want to be? Did they want to be buried? Did they want to be cremated? Do we have the money to do it? Did they put money aside to do this? All these things. And I've been through this recently a few times, so I know what I'm talking about, guys. It is really incredible because it's stressful. You're dealing in one of the most stressful times of your existence, really. A loved one has died, and then you're running around thinking, is there a will? How do they want, especially when it's been out of the blue, absolutely no inkling that something's going to happen. At the minute, you're engulfed in grief, but then you've got to deal with so many different parts to actually organize a funeral, organize everything, organize the costs of the funeral and all the other bits that go on for a while after that as well. It is very stressful. It's an emotional time, and it's a time where the decisions you make are really, really defining decisions, and you have to try to make the right decisions at the right time. But that's the thing I always say to myself as well, because then you're astonished about the costs of all these things that come out, and all these other little intricate things that you don't know about until it happens. A lot of us do not know anything about what happens when someone dies, and the processes you go through, who you have to inform, who you have to speak to, who you have to pay for the certifications, where you go, blah blah blah, to get bodies released, etc etc etc. It's not great, guys. It's not great. So literally, our man NF is right. He says, I don't care, what you do with my body when I'm gone, because it's just a vessel. It's a vessel that incorporates, your soul, which is the most important part of your body. And that goes to a different plane as soon as you die. But oh my gosh, this is hard touching, because guys, I had some serious things go on in my life over the last few years. I'm not talking about in a minute. Really, really serious stuff, whatever. That just really, But guys, yeah, I can relate to this massively.
When I die, put my ashes in the trash bag. I don't care where they go. Don't waste your money on my gravestone. I'm more concerned about my soul.
There you go. Don't waste your money on a gravestone. I'm more concerned about my soul. That is the only part of your literal. This is a vessel, guys. This is just a vessel that we go through this life in. I keep telling everyone, people, that we are human beings. We are human beings first, last and foremost. But what's inside us is our soul, and that's the most important part of us. What happens on this sphere happens, but the thing we need to protect the most is our soul. That's the thing that we need to protect, and that is what NF is saying. He's more concerned with what happens to his soul.
Don't waste your money on my gravestone. I'm more concerned about my soul. Everybody's gonna die. Don't everybody live though. Sometimes I look up to the sky.
Oh, I love that. Everybody is going to die, but not everybody is going to live though. And that's so true, guys, because I've met a lot of people. I know a lot of people, blah blah blah, but there's a lot of people who aren't living. They're really not living, and sometimes it's not even their own fault. But when we were put on this earth, we were designed to be put on this earth and to live a full and interactive life. But a lot of things are against us, and as Tom McDonald said the other day, with the system, if you incorporate the system into it, the system stops us from living a full and interactive life. God has put us on this plane to live a full and interactive life, because once we leave this plane, and our soul goes to the next life, that is where, good things happen. But on this earth, we are here to live a life, to experience good. We're here to experience bad. We're here to experience all sorts of energies. We're here to experience all sorts of things, guys. Some things will be good, some things will be bad. And it's how we use those experiences that will help to build us for the next life. That's my opinion, guys. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's NF's opinion, it's my opinion. Just going to read it a tiny bit, guys. This is great. I love this. Oh Lord, therapy session. NF.
My soul. Everybody's gonna die. Don't everybody live though. Sometimes I look up to the sky and wonder, do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh Lord.
I wasn't expecting that, guys.
Oh Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
But I know that our man NF, he likes to experiment with the vocal. I call it vox or vox, whatever you want to call it. He likes to experiment with a lot of the actual plane that the vocals go along. So it shouldn't surprise me. So NF's doing bits and pieces, and yeah, it really works. It really works.
Listen, yeah, everybody wants change. Don't nobody want to change though.
Oh, everyone wants change, but nobody wants to change though. Guys, that is so true. That is so true. I mean, the analogy I can make is, I think when mobile phones first came around, I had a friend who had a mobile phone well before anyone else. His mobile phone was top of the range. It was top quality. And I know for a fact right now, I don't know if I can say the name of the company, but it is a letter and a number, if that makes sense. They were trying to pay him top dollar to get that phone back from him. He still has an original phone, and it was the top quality. I don't know, it's like I don't know what material it is, but yeah, he's got one of the original sort of mobile phone sets, whatever. It's worth an absolute fortune. But this is the thing. What I was trying to say about the mobile phones is, when mobile phones first came out, only like people who really could afford them, I'm good, I've got a mobile phone, had them. But it's only really at the turn of the century, around 2000, so it's only 20 odd years since the majority of us got mobile phones. And I think I first looked at the mobile phones and got one where I saw like a lot older people, sort of, persons in their like 60s and 70s had a mobile phone. Because at the time I thought, what do I need a mobile phone for? We still had pay boxes and still had all sorts of, phones that are available, etc., etc. But it's that kind of thing, and it's changed. Right now, there's a lot of people now who can't live without their mobile phone. Thank goodness I'm not one of them. I have a mobile phone, but it serves a purpose. And the main purpose is, yes, I use it as a mobile phone. And the second thing I use my mobile phone for is to listen to my music. That's the only thing. I probably won't say the company name. Actually, I don't have that phone anymore, but I've been using that company name mobile phone for years, because they always made the best music quality stuff, and they made the best video quality stuff. So I reckon you'll know who I'm talking about if I say that with the mobile phone. But I don't always use it for the internet, this, that, and the third, YouTube, this, that, and everything, blah, 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 blah. I'm not addicted to any of those sort of stuff. I'm still old school. I still make certain I use a pen and a paper and stuff like that, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it. But I get our man, I was about to call him Tom, I get our man NF, when he says, we want change, but we don't want to change. So I'm one of them people as well. I'm old school, guys. In so many things I do, I'm old school. But guys, I also do embrace the new school. I understand how you can use both together. I'm never going to get rid of some of my old school ways, but I do embrace the new school. And that's really great here with the music I'm listening to. Because I first came on here, guys, I'm old school. I'm old school, guys. Trust me on that, with the hip hop. You ask me any old school question from hip hop from way back in the days. You ask me about any group, band, person, blah, 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 blah. I know it all. I know it. I lived it. But then you ask me about the new school. I'm learning the new school stuff now. That's why I came into this. That's why I listen to all this music now. It's all new to me. It's new school, but I'm embracing it all. So I do understand. We want change, but we don't want to change. And guys, I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a perfect example. I'm learning as we go, because I actually understood that. The moment you think you know it all, you don't know anything. So I'm open to everything. That's why I listen to the new school stuff. But I get it with the mobile phones. I was never going to get a mobile phone, but then, you go with the flow kind of thing. But still, I'm a mindset of what was before the mobile phone. I remember that. A lot of us don't. I get it.
Don't nobody wanna change though. Don't nobody wanna pray. Tell they got something to pray for. Now everybody's gonna die, but don't everybody live though. Sometimes I look up to the sky and wonder, do you see us down here? Oh Lord, oh Lord, do you see us down here? Oh Lord, oh Lord, do you see us down here? Oh Lord, oh Lord, do you see us down here? Oh Lord, oh Lord. It's easy to blame God, but harder to fix things. We look in the sky like, why ain't you listening?
It's easy to blame God, but harder to fix things. And that's what they say, like a poor worker, a poor work person, poor workman, whatever you want to call it in this PC day and age, always blames his tools. And it's true. So it's easy to blame something, but it's much harder to actually do something about it. Oh yeah, love it. And I was going to say as well, so I've rewound it a little bit, guys, but about this tune, this is quite an upbeat tune, and the message is really good, actually. It's a good message that our man's saying, and the tune is actually quite upbeat, especially for our man NF. I've been listening to the last few weeks, so this is really, it's upbeat for me.
Oh Lord, it's easy to blame God, but harder to fix things. We look in the sky like, why ain't you listening? Watching the news in our living rooms on the big screens and talking about if God's really real and where is he?
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm always chatting about on the Tom McDonald threads about I don't watch the news at all. And that's why I've got a lot of bits and pieces going wrong in my channel here, because I keep telling people, listen, there's so many things when they try to put through to you by pumping you with all this news, all this negative news. I literally listen to the news maybe 5 minutes for each 2 weeks, whatever kind of thing. I learn more from other threads, because they're trying to give you kind of an agenda to listen to, and all this negativity gets at you. It's designed to get at you guys. Guys, I would say to you, go out into the wide world, live your life, live a good, honest, full life. That's much better than sitting there and cocooned in front of a TV screen or whatever screen you watch to watch and listen to the news. It's all scripted, guys. You don't want to listen to that nonsense. You don't need to. Anyway, that is my opinion. You don't have to take it as gospel. That's my opinion. I stopped listening to the news many years ago, guys, and I'm in a much better place for doing that. That's just my opinion, guys. And if other people want to have a go at me for that, that's up to you. But that is my opinion. Why don't you try it for 2 weeks? Don't listen to the news for 2 weeks. Tell me how you feel. I hope you've got, I'm certain you'll feel a lot better.
On the big screens and talking about if God's really real, and where is he? You see,
and I could go into a massive monologue, whatever, about this thing about man and God, because people are saying, oh, if God's not really real, if God is really real, where is he? But if people can think, right, if you believe in God, then, this is all duality. They're always pumping duality at us. Like, where there's black, there's white, where there's good, there's bad. So if you believe in a God, you must believe in a devil, you see? So if there is a God and if there is a devil, then, there is good in this world and there is bad in this world. So just see how things play out. That's all I'm going to say at this moment. So potentially, maybe you're looking at the wrong entity, to see why there's so much bad in this world. I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a thought, guys. I'm going to wheel it back a little bit, guys, and just rock into this.
We look in the sky like, why ain't you listening? Watching the news in our living rooms on the big screens and talking about if God's really real, and where is he? You see, the same God that we're saying might not even exist becomes real to us, but only when we're dying in bed. When
so true.
you're healthy, it's like we don't really care for him then. Leave me alone, God, I'll call you when I need you again.
Oh, it's so true, guys. But there's an oddity that I was just came into my mind. If there is no God in this world, why are so many things, why are so many sayings, why are so many films, why are so many whatever so invested in the heavenly terms, in godly terms? You look at a lot of the old sayings that still go through to today, they're all invested in God, I mean, why do people take God's name in vain? I don't. I say, oh my goodness. I'm 100% certain you will never hear me take the Lord's name in vain, because you wouldn't take your sister's name in vain. You wouldn't take your brother's, your father's name in vain. So that's just me saying that. But most people say that. And when people are in trouble, they always say, they look to God to help them. But if God is not real, why are you asking God to help you? But it's ingrained in so many films. I watch films all the time. I've been watching films all the time. And so many of them use the godly terms and always refer to God in the films. Why is that? It's just a question, guys. Why is that? If God's not real, then why are they always bringing God's name up in films?
When you're healthy, it's like we don't really care for him then. Leave me alone, God, I'll call you when I need you again. Which is funny, everyone will sleep in a pew.
I'll call you when I need you again, God, which is plenty.
Don't blame God for our problems like he's sleeping on you. We turn our backs on him, what do you expect him to do? It's hard to answer prayers when nobody's praying to you.
Oh my gosh, it's hard to answer prayers when nobody's praying to you. And by the way, guys, I said, oh my gosh. It's hard to answer prayers when no one's praying to you. And that is so true, because it's like a doorway. You have to open the door and knock on the door to let someone in, That is incredible.
I look around at this world we walk on. It's a smack in the face. Don't ever tell me there's no God. And if there isn't, then what are we here for? And what are y'all doing down there? I don't know, Lord.
Oh, that is so good. So now NF is actually having a conversation, or he's reaching out to God, asking him certain questions. And God always says, just reach out, call out, and God will answer.
Oh Lord, do you see us down here? Oh Lord, oh Lord, do you see us down here? Oh Lord.
It's so weird listening to this track here, because I remember years ago where in the UK, I remember there was a lots of like Christian rap, and I know there was Christian rap in the US as well. So we're talking in the mid to late 90s. I remember that very much so, because I saw a few of the shows as well. There are a lot of groups, sort of getting into Christian rap, etc. But I have to admit, I didn't really listen to much of that sort of Christian rap. I didn't really listen to too much of that. But then also you had the other side of things, where you had people like Lakim Shabazz. You had the Flavor Unit. You had people like the Poor Righteous Teachers. You had the X Clan. You had so many other groups sort of in the 90s. And this is from the early all the way through the 90s, sort of doing their own version of, I won't say Christian rap, because that transcended from people like Muslims and stuff as well. But there was a lot of rap, which was glorifying God's name, whether it was from the Muslim perspective, whether it was from the Christian perspective, or whether it's from any other perspective as well. But I've not heard anything like that recently. I know there must be some people doing that, but I've never heard anything so much here as NF is doing here. He's really, really sort of putting God up on the pedestal there, and absolutely saying, God is king, God is the creator, and God is everything, all in everything. And I've not really heard that from any MC, to be honest with you. But guys, put it in the comment section. If there's guys that I'm missing out on, let me know in the comment section, please. I would be really interested to find out.
This is down here. Oh Lord, oh Lord, this is down here. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh Lord, can you see us down here? Oh Lord, oh Lord. Oh,
the guitars. You got and his voice just
Can you see it? Don't you see it?
Whoa. Guys, I would absolutely love to see this track done live. So if NF's on tour, etc., I would love to see it, but I'd also love to see the interaction with the audience with this track. I think this is an absolutely beautiful track, and NF is absolutely exposing himself to a lot of backlash from certain areas. I know there'll be a lot of backlash. There's a lot of people, I don't understand it. Why is it that we're allowed to talk about sexualized kind of things, but you're not allowed to talk about your faith? I'm just asking that question, guys. As long as there is freedom of speech, and I will fight to my dying breath, FOS. That's me all over, FOS, guys. I'll fight to my dying breath, for FOS. NF has his right to talk about what his faith is. If you think that other people have a right to talk about sexualized bits and pieces, that's just what I'm saying, guys. Take it or leave it. But guys, absolutely love that. That was an audio version, and that was our man NF, and that was Oh Lord, and that was absolutely inspiring. I can't even say the word. That was absolutely inspiring. Inspiring. What does that mean? That was inspiring. That was inspirational. I absolutely loved that track, guys. I hope you like that as well, guys. Hope you like my reaction here at Urb'n Barz. And if you did like my reaction, if you do like my I can't even speak at the minute, guys. And if you do like my reaction, guys, please like, share, hit the notification bell, but above all, subscribe, guys. Subscribe to Urb'n Barz, because you're going to get more reactions from Urb'n Barz. You can get more reactions than you can shake a stick at. But guys, seriously, I absolutely love that. I'm loving listening to NF every time I hear something different from NF. That was incredible, because NF has opened himself up to everyone about himself, his feelings, everything. I was absolutely shocked at the first when he said, when he dies, he doesn't mind if, if you just throw him into a garbage bag, whatever, don't waste money on the tombstone. Just, he's got more important things like for his soul, etc. That was incredible, guys. I really loved that. I love this track. Oh Lord, NF therapy session. This is great. Absolutely brilliant stuff. I am absolutely loving this journey, guys. I love NF. Simple as. But guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel here at Urb'n Barz, please subscribe and make certain you come back to the next NF reaction. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, guys, and we will all see each other soon.